Hello, this is the Tradesight US Stocks Futures and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday the 4th of April 2021. Happy Easter. Ending Friday the 9th of April. Hope you had a good trading week this last week. It was short, it was okay. 2 good days, 2 boring days is what it is. Nothing to complain about from that perspective. This week's going to be a little trickier a little tricky to start, but we'll see what we get. Let's talk about that in a minute. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. As you can see, not much out of Forex last week. Pulled back a little on the dollar. Still sitting where we were back in August of last year. So nothing's really happened from that perspective. Forex side has not been super interesting. The euro dollar, as usual, the daily chart is the inverse of the dollar index. The pound dollar, nothing. Pulled back to that red static trend line exactly and bounced off of it. Aussie dollar dead flat this last week and still sitting where it was months ago. Euro yen near the highs, I guess. Pound yen has also taken near the highs. Pound Swiss, a little bit of a move up again near the highs, but getting near a 13 sell signal. It's going to recycle. Never mind. Don't worry about that one. And then the New Zealand dollar pair is what it is. All right. In terms of intra-week action, 30-minute candles on the euro dollar. High to low for the week. Check that out. Less than 100 pips for the whole week on the euro dollar. Ick. That is horrible. Pound dollar, less than 150 pips basically for the whole week. So it was a really, really poor week for Forex. Now, granted, we were closed. U.S. side was closed Friday. It wasn't the banks, though. It was just the stock market, but it is what it is. Aussie dollar, 60 pips for the whole week. I mean, this isn't tradable stuff. New Zealand dollar, not much else there. All right, so honestly, the Forex side remains kind of unexciting and not much to look at. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form, and as usual, new highs, as you can see. New closing high, but not much action interweek, as you'll see in a few minutes. Let's go through the major daily charts of everything. Crude oil, 61.22. It's pulled back a bit off the highs, but again, as the economy starts to ramp up, the standard price for crude is between 60 and 80, so we'll see where that goes. Gold up 40 cents to 17.28. S&P cash gains $46.98. Again, like I said, new closing highs on the S&P. This is the broad market. All-time NASDAQ 100 was up on Friday. SOX was also up on Friday. I'm sorry, on Thursday. Near highs again. Biotechs were also up. And again, these are all, we've got Friday we were closed, so these are all Thursday's numbers, sorry. Russell 2000 up 33. It's a big one, but still, look at that 13 sell signal. Was so perfect on the Russell. The VIX loses. Now, here's where this is where things are starting to get interesting. The VIX drops back $2.07 to 17.33. This is finally a breakdown. The lowest reading on the VIX since late February of last year. In other words, COVID. Taking all this time to finally come back. Interesting, right? Trend closes at 1.75. Puts the 10-day moving average at 1.33. That is not a signal for us. 10-day, volume on the NASDAQ was only, this is the flip side, and this is where the boredom is coming in. 4.5 billion shares on the NASDAQ. This is the lightest volume day since January 1st. We're heading back into numbers from last year, is what it is. So the rotation is probably almost over. The rotation again from the election, obviously. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 2,041. So it's a very positive day breadth-wise on the New York plus 1965. I mean, that's the most positive advanced decline ratio on the New York side since back in November, and one of the top 10 for the last year. Google gained $67.26, going near highs. Apple up 85 cents. Netflix up 17.76. Amazon up 66.92. Tesla down $6.18. Facebook up $4.13. This is getting near, obviously, all-time highs. Zoom up $4.94 off the lows. Goldman Sachs up 64 cents. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up $2.25, so that's coming back a bit. Remember, bonds have just been getting crushed. Dow Jones was up 171 points. That's not really a big deal. The futures, by the way, because it's already pretty late Sunday while I'm doing this, the futures are showing ES plus 20 and NQ is up plus 26. Not a big deal, but there was a huge jobs number on Friday while we were closed, so that's what's impacting that. Bitcoin got up to 60,000 again, closes currently at 58,755 as I do this Sunday evening. All right, so in terms of the intraday action, here's a look. ES, let's go 10-minute candles so we can see the whole week, but remember Friday was closed, so we're going to go, the way we're going to do this is showing you the prior Friday, end of Friday off to the left. So on Monday, kind of opened flat, wiggled around, didn't do much. On Tuesday, gap down, dead flat, closed where we opened. Wednesday, gapped up, filled the gap from the prior day, drifted higher but came back. And at that point, you're really nowhere for the week at that. It is what it is. And then on Thursday, a small gap up and a drift higher. Friday, we were closed. So there's just nothing here that's of interest. This is why it was kind of a boring week. Look at the NASDAQ side. Like, this is horrible. Look at Friday and Thursday. Just awful, even Tuesday. So happy to pull out what we could in what is otherwise an uneventful market currently. All right, so let's take a look at the economic. Oh, sorry, let me fix this. Let's take a look at the economic data coming out this week, so we're prepared. Keep in mind, this is the one thing about this week. It's a little awkward. We had our stock market closed on Friday for Good Friday. The banks were not closed. Okay, and they won't be closed. The banks, strangely here in the U.S., don't close for Easter. But the rest of the world, bank holiday all day Monday. So New Zealand, Australia, China, when they open up, their banks are closing here. MI inflation gauge out of Australia. And then Monday, Switzerland, French, German, Italian, GDP, pound, UK, the banks all closed. So the problem is Forex is going to be dead, and most of the people aren't really trading stock market either when everybody's on bank holiday for the day after Easter, which kind of makes more sense than the Good Friday thing, maybe. I don't know. I wish the world could get on the same page about this. There's certain holidays every year, like Veterans Day and whatever, where like maybe the banks are open but the stock market's closed. Or I wish they could fix all this because it just adds a mess. Final services PMI at 9:45 a.m. here. ISM services PMI at 10. Factory orders at 10. Japan's average cash earnings, household spending. ANZ job advertisements out of Australia, Caxton Services PMI out of China, Japan's 30-year bond auction. That's all on Monday. These are Eastern time, obviously. Going into Tuesday, rate announcement out of Australia at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. Spanish unemployment change, Italian unemployment rate, Centex investor confidence, the unemployment rate out of Europe, JOLTS job openings here in the U.S. at 10 a.m. TIP IBD economic optimism number here, GDT price index, AIG construction index, ANZ commodity prices. Wednesday, leading indicators out of Japan, and then the services PMI numbers out of Spain, Italy, France, Germany, all of Europe, all the different parts of Europe. That's Wednesday, and then trade balance here in the U.S. and Canada at 8:30. That's one of our big three. So we will be half size in Forex Tuesday night going into Wednesday because of that. IV PMI out of Canada, crude oil inventories out of the U.S., FOMC minutes from the last meeting get released at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Consumer credit at 3 here. Rick's house price balance out of the UK, current account, preliminary ANZ business confidence. Thursday, consumer confidence, German factory orders, economy watcher sentiment out of Japan, French trade balance, foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland, construction PMI out of the UK, PPI out of Europe. Then the French 10-year bond auction, minutes, meeting accounts out of the ECB meeting, weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers here in the U.S. at 8:30, natty gas at 10:30, AIG services index out of Australia, RBA financial stability review. We got CPI and PPI out of China, and then Friday the unemployment rate out of Switzerland, German industrial production, German trade balance, French industrial production, Halifax HPI, and then the Italian retail sales, housing equity withdrawal out of the UK. We've got the employment change and the unemployment rate out of Canada and the PPI here in the US, along with final wholesale inventories at 10 a.m. That is it for the week. So the big one, obviously, will be on Wednesday in terms of the trade balance number. That's a big number for Forex. But other than that, it's just kind of, yeah, there's enough data. But again, remember Monday, with the rest of the world, all the banks closed, everything else, might not be that interesting, unfortunately. We will see what we get. If it looks dead in the first hour or two, I wouldn't force trades because you're just going to see probably later volume and nobody around. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.